How much time does she spend? So we added up her entire day and we found 4 hours where she didn't have anything she had to do. So 4 free hours a day that she could work with somehow. So baby step, she committed to 15 minutes a day to work on her speech, which felt so easy because we'd gone through her schedule and found 4 free hours. 15 minutes is nothing.
It's
Like, that's
nothing.
tiny. And she just felt so empowered. And she felt like it was going to be so easy because we had made it such a tiny baby step. So 15 minutes a day out of 4 free hours, that is easy as pie.
Welcome to the Minute Mastery Podcast, a conversational productivity and time management podcast where busy authors and entrepreneurs are inspired to create time for what truly matters. I'm your host, Ngozi Edema. I'm a time management coach, writer, and entrepreneur. Here, you are encouraged to turn your minutes into milestones and to create at least 1 hour a day working on your goals without feeling overwhelmed. And since you are here, I thought I'd let you know of a storybook to gift your favorite kids. Once upon a time, and they lived happily ever after. Children love those phrases. I love them too, and I suspect you may love them too. As a mom, I've spent hours reading and listening to my children read their favorite stories, and now I write stories too. Here is one of them you may want to check out. The Proud Sunflower. It is the story of Princess Sanzu, the Sunflower Princess, a princess loved by all, but who got into trouble. Within the pages of The Proud Sunflower, you encounter what real beauty is. Your kid will love the beautiful story and powerful illustrations. The Proud Sunflower serves as a gentle reminder that we all need to stand on the shoulders of others to succeed. So, read this story with your little ones and allow it to illuminate the universal language of empathy, forgiveness, and personal growth. The Proud Sunflower is a top book on parenting, morals, and responsibility, and it's available on the Kindle store and on paperback formats. Excellent for beginner readers. Click in this episode show note or in the description on YouTube to order yours. And check out my other storybooks to read with your kids, or gift a child a storybook if you do not have kids of your own. Today, I'm joined by Kelly Walker, an ADHD-friendly speaking coach who helps purpose-driven entrepreneurs transform mental clutter into clear, confident communication. She knows firsthand what's like to struggle with self-doubt and overwhelm, and she's here to share how she turns that chaos into clarity. It's to stay focused, to boost productivity, and to take consistent action, even with a brain wired for distraction. Who is not distracted these days? Whether you're preparing for a big talk or just trying to finish what you start, our advice is honest, empowering, and is rooted in real life experience. Welcome to the Minute Mastery, Kelly.
Thank you so much. I'm very excited for this conversation we're going to have today.
I'm excited as well because it's interesting. I'm a time management coach, but I tell you, focus is an issue for me. Every day, I have to make sure that I am intentional with it. I put it in my head and tell myself, girl, you have to stay focused. You have to fight distractions. So it's a constant battle for many of us. So many entrepreneurs with ADHD feel constantly overwhelmed by their ideas. How did you personally learn to turn mental clutter into clarity? And where do you recommend others to start?
Well, I have struggled forever with this. And I got diagnosed with ADHD about probably 12 years ago. And so I knew I had a problem, but I didn't know what it was. And then it was good to get the diagnosis, but I didn't like the medication. And so I don't take anything for it. I just kind of push through, but I have come up with some really helpful strategies that work amazingly for me. So I'm going to tell you my number one tool, and it is called a spinner list. So what I do is I keep a piece of paper under my laptop So then when I need it, I just pull it out like this. It's under my little laptop stand and I keep a pen. And every time I get a thought of something I've got to take care of or something I want to do, I stop what I'm doing and I write it down. Because what happens, especially with ADHD, is you have a constant supply of ideas popping into your head all day long. And then you think, oh, I want to do that, but I'm probably going to forget it. Because we know we forget things, right?
Yes, we do.
So then we have all this mental energy going to worrying about forgetting it. So we're so scared of forgetting it that we give half of our focus during the day to all the things we might be forgetting to do. So for me, if I write it down on a piece of paper, I know that I can let go of that fear and I can free up some mental energy by deleting that clutter out of my brain. Then when I have a free moment, when I'm done with something and I'm ready to move on, or if I'm tired of doing something and I need a break, which happens a lot, I'll look at my spinner list, and I call it a spinner list because it's always spinning. It's really distracting because it's always spinning, right? So I look at my spinner list and I just go through it and say, well, do I have time to do any of these things right now? And if so, I do them. And then I cross them off. And crossing things off that's a really good dopamine hit, that you cross something off your checklist. So it serves several purposes. It gets the clutter out of your head. It makes you remember the things you want to do. It lets you fit little things into short spaces of time in between other tasks. And then it gives you success energy because you check something off of your list. So that's my favorite. If you can't do it on paper, because some people can't keep track of pieces of paper, then do it in a Google Doc and type it instead of write it. That way you'll probably never lose it.
Thank you very much. So, to recap, if I decide now I want to write, I've scheduled 30 minutes to do my writing.
Yeah.
And within that 30 minutes, like me, my brain starts spinning and start reminding me of so many things that I have not done. So I get a piece of paper, put it next to me. And then when my brain is overworking itself, I get my pen and write it down. Yeah, I know I will come back to that soon. Let me write it down so I don't forget. Then I get back onto the work I'm doing.
Yes, exactly.
And so the brain knows that, okay, she's taking care of it.
Right? So you can let it go.
Can let it go, and then you get that energy to concentrate, to do intentional work, to focus on what you need to do. Thank you so much. That is so good. So
You're
what are
welcome.
some common mistakes you see entrepreneurs with ADHD make when preparing to speak or share their message? Speaking is such a great skill and it's not something that many of us have. How can they avoid these common mistakes?
Well, probably the most common one I see is because our brains are running a mile a minute, maybe a million miles a minute even, we mistakenly assume that the whole world is like us. And they're not. Other people aren't having their brains run a million miles a minute. But if you're a speaker and you've got ADHD and your brain is doing that, and you assume your whole audience has the same kind of brain as you, then that translates as, I have to tell the audience every single thing I know. Every single thing. And if I don't, they're going to get bored and they're going to think I'm a terrible speaker. So I've got to just fire hose them with every single piece of knowledge I have about my topic. That's the number one thing I see. So here's my thing I teach my clients. Pick 3 tools or 3 lessons, 3 something, no more than 3 ever. Never do 4, never do 5, never do 20, just 3. So pick 3 tools that you're going to teach and then have a little story to go with each tool. And this is like super basic speech structure, and it works really well. 3 lessons with 1 story per lesson. So you have 3 stories you get to tell, 3 tools you're going to teach them, and at the end, you have a simple call to action. And that's all you need. You don't have to tell them 8,000 things during your speech. Just pick 3 lessons or tools with a story for each and a call to action at the end. And that will keep you from word vomiting all over your audience accidentally.
Yeah, okay. Now that we're here, I just want to ask a question. Does that also make people repeat themselves over and over again when given a speech because they think they have to?
Yes. They have to explain it 8 different ways. Yes. Oh my gosh.
Speak 8 different ways, the same information, and then and then I listened to it and I was like, well, I've said that before.
Oh, that's so funny. You got to make sure they understand it, I
I
guess.
gotta make sure they understand. Oh my word. So just focus on 3 items. If you can tell a story with each lesson you're trying to teach, and then you're good. You don't have to let them know everything at once. Thank you so much. That is super helpful.
You're welcome.
So you're known for helping people break down big goals into manageable steps. I love manageable.
Me too. It's my favorite. It's the best.
So can you walk us through a real example of how you did this with a client or even with yourself?
Yeah. So I do a mastermind on Monday nights. And just this Monday, one of my clients said to me, I've got this idea for a new speech or a new version of my speech, and I can't make myself sit down and do it. Like something always comes up and I've always got to take care of something and, or I'm always too tired or I'm always blah, 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 fill in the blank. And I said, well, let's break it down into baby steps. Let's find you some time to work on it in a really easy, manageable way. And she was like, okay, if you think you can. So the first thing we did was we added up all of the things she has to do each day. So how many hours is she at work? How many hours is she taking care of her family and her chickens? Because she has chickens. And like, how many hours a day does she have to sleep? How much time does she spend driving? So we added up her entire day and we found 4 hours where she didn't have anything she had to do. So 4 free hours a day that she could work with somehow. So baby step, she committed to 15 minutes a day to work on her speech, which felt so easy because we'd gone through her schedule and found 4 free hours. 15 minutes is nothing.
It's
like
nothing.
That's tiny. And she just felt so empowered. And she felt like it was going to be so easy because we had made it such a tiny baby step. So 15 minutes a day out of 4 free hours, that is easy as pie.
This is amazing because I was saying to one of my guests last week, and I was saying to him, I said, I sent out a survey during COVID when I was starting out. I wanted to coach busy moms over 40 to self-publish. And one of the questions I asked was, what is stopping you from doing it? And every single time when they tell me their challenges are time, money and time, money and time. I don't have the money for that now. I don't have the time for that now.
Yep.
He said something. He said, when you ask people, how much time do you need? They don't know.
They don't.
It's just like saying, I don't have the money to pay for this now. Okay, how much does it cost? I don't know. So how did you know you don't have the money? You can afford it when you don't know how much it costs. So first, figure out how much time do I need to do these tasks and where can I find that time?
Yes.
Because for most things in life, we can find time to do them if we really want to.
Absolutely. It all comes down to how much you want to do it.
Yeah. So first, do I really need to do this? Does it mean anything to me? Why do I want to do it? So if it is important, of course, you will find the time.
Absolutely.
I know I've booked time for something very, very important, and I get a phone call from my daughter's school. Oh, she fell off the swing. My word. Every other thing stops.
Right.
Like every other thing for the first thing is, was she hurt? Where is she? How is she doing? You know, I cannot concentrate to do any other thing when I know my daughter fell off the swing. Like, I need to go and attend to that first because that is important.
Yes.
And
for sure.
I am emotionally tied to that. And when something affects you emotionally, it's done.
Yes. 100%.
So I just like that 15 minutes. I wish I had this strategy years ago when I was starting out. I had a young family. I thought I need loads of time. I need at least an hour to do stuff. But if 15 minutes is all you can give, out of 4 hours, like your client ratio, out of 4 hours, you give it 15 minutes. Anyone can do that.
Easy. So easy.
Thank you so much for that. Yes, for bringing that experience out, because now people can see that you, of course, many of us can handle 15 minutes.
Yeah.
I want to ask you something. Have you been sitting on a creative project or book idea for months, maybe even years? Because life just wouldn't slow down. If that sounds like you, I created something just for you. It's my standard 6-week coaching package, a focused, personalized experience designed to help you finally finish what you started. Here is how it works. For 6 weeks, we meet once a week, just you and I. You'll get a custom time plan that fits around your real life. Not some cookie cutter schedule, but something that actually works for you. You will also get email check-ins from me because I know how easy it is to fall off the track when no one is checking in. This is perfect for busy moms, writers, and entrepreneurs, or anyone who is juggling life and a dream at the same time. So, if you've been waiting for the right time, consider this your sign. Let's turn those minutes into milestones. Head over to this episode's show notes to enroll or learn more about this program. So ADHD brains often thrive on novelty and struggle with consistency. What are some ADHD-friendly tools or strategies you recommend to stay focused long enough to finish big projects?
Yeah. Well, I am as I said, a big fan of baby steps. Those are huge for me for ADHD. So when I have a big project, I do really love to make a list of all the little steps that go into finishing the project. So make a master list of all the things that have to happen in order for the big project to be done. And then when I'm ready to sit down and work, I can shop my list and I'll just purchase the things I like. I'm going to do these 3 little tasks right now, and then leave everything else in my shopping cart. And I'm just going to buy those 3 little baby steps that I want and do them right then. And I sometimes will say, just set a timer for 5 minutes. Like sometimes we feel really resistant to getting stuff done for many different reasons. It could be maybe we don't feel like we deserve success, or maybe we feel like we don't want to be confined by the restraints we need to put on ourselves, or we're worried we don't know how to do it right. So there could be a lot of reasons that we put things off. But if you just set a 5-minute timer and say, no matter what, I can do this for 5 minutes. But then guess what happens? Your timer goes off and then you're on a roll. You've gotten over that initial resistance. You're on a roll. So you keep going for like an hour.
Yeah.
So that 5 minutes expands because you got through that really hard barrier of just getting started on it. And then my third thing is take an order creation break. And so what I mean by that is, especially when you have ADHD, you often live in a chaotic environment. So like your office where you work, your desk where you sit, is there chaos there? Is there clutter? Do things need to be put away or organized? Because a cluttered environment contributes more clutter to your brain. And so I will take order creation breaks where I just like schedule 30 minutes and I go create order somewhere in my house. It doesn't even have to be in my office. Like maybe I go clean out my junk drawer in the kitchen, or maybe I go do my dishes, or maybe I go clean my bathroom, or I go do my laundry. Even it doesn't even have to be 30 whole minutes. But when I create some level of order in my environment, I can then focus again. It makes a really positive effect on my ability to focus. So take an order creation break. Yeah.
That is amazing. Now, I need to create some order in my pantry now. So thank you for
There you
reminding me.
go. Perfect. That's awesome.
So public speaking can be intimidating, especially for neurodivergent entrepreneurs. So how do you help clients move past self-doubt and imposter syndrome? I think everybody has that.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
Self-doubt and imposter syndrome. So how do you help your clients move to become more confident speakers in spite of self-doubt and imposter syndrome? Yeah.
Yeah. So I have two processes. One is before you get on stage, and one is for when you're on stage and you're feeling the stage fright. So the first one, and this can apply to anything, not just speaking. I have this mentor who taught me this process, and I have used it hundreds and hundreds of times on myself, on my own issues. And the process is called a belief breakthrough. And it's 10 questions that you ask yourself. And so what it does is it finds your current fear, and then it finds the cause of that fear from when you were young. And then you examine the cost of living with that fear. You decide what you want to believe instead. You anchor it with a celebration, and you come up with an inspired next step. So, and if you want, I can give you a link to that process. I have it in a Google Doc. So if
Okay.
you want to share it with your people.
Yeah, I can share it. Yeah.
Oh my gosh. The first year I learned about the belief breakthrough process, I did one every single day for a year, 65 belief breakthroughs. And they completely changed my life. I became a different person. But every time you do it, you peel back one of those onion layers of your issues that, we all develop when we're kids that end up affecting us for our whole lives. So that's the first thing I do is start doing daily belief breakthrough to get rid of all those fears of showing up the way you want to show up in the world. And then once you get on stage, and this can be for anybody, you don't have to have ADHD, just stage fright in general. If you get on stage and you get scared and you start to panic or blank out or hyperventilate,
Yeah.
there is this really cool thing I've discovered. And I discovered it because of a really bad situation on stage, but I'm really grateful for it now because it taught me this principle. In your audience, there are 3 types of people. You have energy drainers, energy returners, and then energy neutrals. And the people in your audience that drain your energy, they don't do it on purpose. They just by their behavior or their eye contact or whatever, they drain your energy. And the people that are energy returners, they fill you with energy. They return your energy back to you. So you feel happy and confident and on top of the world. So you don't have any stage fright. But the energy drainers are terrible for your mindset because you look at them and so here's how you find an energy drainer. Either they're not looking at you, they're looking at their phone, they're talking to their neighbor, they're sleeping, or they're looking at you with a mean look on their face. And it might just be that resting bee face, right? Because people don't smile normally. When their face is at rest, some people look really mad.
Yes.
So identify the energy drainers and then never look at them again. Just take note where they are in your audience and never look at them. And that is really helpful. But then identify your energy returners and give them the most eye contact. Spend the most time speaking directly to your energy returners, and you will have no stage fright. It's a magical, magical thing.
Wow, energy drainers and energy retainers.
Yes.
Is it retainers you call them?
Returners. They
Returners. Okay. I'll keep that in mind.
Yeah. Makes a big difference.
It does.
Yes.
It does. With busy schedules and so many distractions, what's one simple daily habit that helps you stay grounded, focused, and productive?
100% is living by my calendar. Because if something doesn't get put on and it's my Google Calendar, so I can get it on my phone, I get it on my laptop, it doesn't matter where I'm at, I can always access it. If it's not on my calendar, it doesn't happen. If it's not on my calendar, I forget it. So therefore, everything must go on my calendar, which means I have complete confidence that I'm not missing anything. And so what I do every night before I go to bed, I pull out my phone, I pull up my calendar, and I see what I have tomorrow. Like, what time do I need to be camera ready? What time do I have client sessions? What empty pockets of time do I have where I can work on my own stuff? And it frees up so much mental energy because I'm not trying to remember appointments. I'm not trying to juggle it all in my head. And man, if I didn't live and die by my calendar, I would be a chicken with my head cut off, and nobody needs that.
Yeah, I just love the calendar too. And I use the Google calendars. It's my main calendars.
Same. It's my life. My calendar is my life.
So how do these audience connect with you, and where can they find you? Tell us everywhere they can find you.
Oh my gosh. Facebook is my favorite social media, and I'm Kelly Kaye Walker on there, the way it's spelled here.
Yeah.
So it's really easy to find me on Facebook. I do have a website, kellykaywalker.com. So you can go there and find me. I'm pretty easy to find. You can email me, kelly@kellykaywalker.com.
That would be fine. So what do they hope to get when you come? What is your program like?
Well, I've got different packages that come with different things, but it's all focused on getting your message out there. My most fun thing that I do is I do a speaking cruise where everybody on the ship gives a speech. And at the end, you get an international speaker certificate.
Wow.
And I do that one pretty much every year. My next one is, and I book 2 years ahead. So my next one, we are hugging sloths in Honduras. And that one is January 2027. And I already have people signed up for it. So I book really far out. That's probably my favorite, most fun part of coaching.
Yeah.
And then I do a mastermind every Monday night, and people come and they give speeches and give feedback, or, I teach them anything that they need help with. We do a lot of AI prompt engineering, how to use AI as a speaker. We do belief breakthroughs together. So that part's really fun. And then, of course, I do private coaching and, in any combination of numbers of appointments. And I help people find paid speaking gigs too. So I kind of do it all.
Wow.
Yeah.
Thank you very much for coming to the Minute Mastery, Kelly.
You're welcome. Thanks for having me so much. I had so
Right.
much fun.
And on this episode, I told you about my 6 weeks coaching package. So if you're feeling stretched in trying to grow your business while managing your home and family, you are not alone. And you don't have to figure this out on your own. This 30 minutes clarity call is designed to help entrepreneurs like you pause, breathe, and get clear on where your time is going and what needs to shift. Together, we will identify your biggest time plus energy drains, map out what is keeping you stuck or overwhelmed, uncover the first step to a more balanced, aligned life. And your $47 investment will be fully credited toward my 6 weeks time reset coaching package if you choose to move forward after our session. No pressure, no hard pitch, just real talk, clarity, and a moment to focus on you. So head over to this episode show notes to sign up and to check out my guest offers too. Thank you very much for tuning into the Minute Mastery Podcast. If you have found this episode helpful, please share it with someone who could use more time in their day. And remember to subscribe and leave us a review. Until next time, you are in control of your time and you've got this.